Hello and welcome to intimacy video number 9, which is Mythbusters. We wanted to tackle a couple of myths that we've heard are out there, and the first one is that if I am in a relationship for any length of time, it's going to be boring.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's crazy, but once people get into this routine where they've been in a relationship for a long time, it's like the spice of life disappears. But even worse, for a lot of our married friends, which this shouldn't be the case, it's kind of like, you know what, I'm married, I can't get out, so I'm going to survive. So the best it's going to get is boring, which is awful because we were never created for that. We were created for intimacy and fire and life.
Well, and you don't want to, once you buy into that, then you accept it. And it becomes your reality, right? So if you believe that, it will be that.
I mean, I remember, and I fell into that trap in my marriage, is where, you know, we wouldn't plan vacations, we wouldn't plan date nights, we wouldn't do special things to ignite passion between us and conversation. I mean, if intimacy is being known fully and knowing someone else fully, we weren't setting aside that time to really engage in that, and that's huge.
Because it's a discipline.
It is a discipline, yeah.
And some of the things we've done is schedule outings. We've gone hiking in Big Bend in the mountains. When you do things together, it causes conversation. It knocks you out of your rut.
She's making me go to Big Bend, and I agree to that, as crazy as she is. So, no, I mean...
I'm making him go to Kilimanjaro. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's the mountain. 19,000 feet. Woo! Actually, we're both a little crazy that way. But, I mean, the point is, we know that we're both a little crazy. We love that about each other. How do we know that? We converse, we talk, we get to know each other, and we set time aside to do those fun things.
You have to. And the second big myth is, well, you can do it, but I can't do it.
Which is really interesting, because with this myth, you know, a lot of guys, I don't know about you, but, you know, especially for women watching this, what you don't know is there's a lot of guys who've been watching us, which is kind of crazy to me, because even in the last 2 weeks, I've had several guys go, man, I wish I had what you and Bethany had, and I'm kind of like, come on, why can't you? I mean, what we're talking about here on these videos is something that we all should be experiencing. We want everyone to experience.
And we're going to give you the keys in this one. We're going to tell you how to go from this mindset of you guys can do it, but we can't. And we're going to start you on the journey in this video.
And the big thing is, you know, what I found for this second myth of, you know, I can't ever have what you guys have, is it creates this, almost this voyeuristic living.
Right.
By the way, that's illegal in some states. I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, seriously, I mean, for women, what? They watch romance movies or read romance novels, and they're in a relationship, but there's a little escapism going on, trying to meet a certain need because they feel like they can't ever have in the relationship, right?
Right.
And I think for men, the men issue, I think, guys, we have the same issue, don't we? I mean, it's like if it's not happening in a relationship the way we'd like, we go off and golf, or we go do other things. We find other ways to occupy ourselves.
Yeah, to meet our needs.
Yeah.
Another way to meet our needs. And all of that results in looking other places to meet this energy and excitement that we're not getting in our relationship.
Yeah, and I mean, by the way, this is a really dangerous myth. Because if you live vicariously through others, what you're doing is you're building up these fantasies that you're trying to escape into. And if you're escaping into illusion, the opposite of illusion is truth. It means you're not living in truth. It means you're not being honest with your significant other. You're not talking about what's important to you and asking what's important to them and getting to know. And if that happens, relationship failure is on the horizon.
So let's talk about how we get out of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So the first one is you have to break down the walls. You have built, a lot of us have built walls around our heart and around being hurt, and we put up those walls to protect ourselves. And I know I've lived in abusive relationships, and so I have built very steep walls. But those walls not only block out people hurting us, but it also blocks out people getting to know us, and it blocks out love. And so we're so worried about exposing ourselves and someone rejecting us or hurting us that we don't let the love in.
What's crazy is we don't even realize it. Many of you guys who are watching this, you'll know exactly what I mean right now. You were hurt in your childhood. Something significant, traumatic happened, or maybe it was just what people said growing up, but it caused you to start to build those walls early in life. That was me. And what happened is, as I built those walls to protect myself, I wasn't allowing people to know me. Again, like what we talked about, what intimacy is, being known fully. And because of that, I wasn't having relationships the way I needed to. So the question is, how do you tear down those walls, Bethany? I mean, it's really significant. How do you do it?
You have to start receiving. You have to learn to receive. You have to learn to open yourself up.
Which takes a little courage, right?
It takes a lot of courage. It's a lot of courage because you're opening yourself, you're letting kind of the door open, you're letting a crack in, knowing that you could be hurt, knowing that it's like unclenching your fists and letting someone in that could possibly hurt you, that could possibly, like we talked about the weapons, that could possibly call out your worst fears.
So walls are built because of fears. The opposite of fear is love. So like Bethany said, if you receive love in, that's how you can start to tear down those walls. Now, men, especially you manly men and burly men, let me talk to you for a second. A lot of you guys like to think of yourself as leaders and you want to be a leader in a relationship. Well, courage, my friend. Take courage to receive love, to be transparent, and to lead that way. You will be amazed at the difference it will make.
So the first thing you got to do is try to knock down those walls that you've spent years building, because even the person you're in a relationship with, they might have hurt you and you don't want to give them a second chance. Some of you get trapped. I know I got trapped in a relationship where it was this passive aggressive, you don't directly attack them, but it's this passive aggressive activities going on. Admit those to yourself. But the second step is identity.
It's identity. It's knowing who you are, and not just who you are, because many of you guys will go, I know who I am, but you don't love yourself. You don't value yourself. Well, here's one of the most amazing truths, I think, in all of creation, and that is that we are made in God's image. And if you stop to think about it, what it means is you have His value. You are worth something. You have immense worth.
Before anything else, even if this guy or this girl doesn't love you, even if your marriage fails, even if your kids desert you, no matter what happens, no matter how many, even if he beats you, no matter what happens, you have value and you are worth more than the breadcrumbs you are accepting. And that's what you have to get over. That's what you have to understand, is you're not worth being hit. You do not deserve being treated like you are allowing these people to treat you. And that's step number 2, is claim your identity, claim your worth.
Which when you take the courage to step out to receive love, you take hold of your value and your worth and recognize that your significant other doesn't give that to you. You already have it. Then it leads you to the third step. And the third step is stepping out and sharing.
Transparently sharing something you never thought you would share with anyone. This sounds scary.
And it is.
And it is. Every time we've done that with each other, we thought the other person was going to run for the hills and never see them again. And you have to be willing to sacrifice the relationship, because you've got to get to a level of, if your mates never shared anything with you that made you want to run for the hills, then you're not transparent.
Yeah. And let me just say this. It's hard.
It's really hard.
But because you're tearing down the wall, because you embrace your value, as you share transparently, even if it's not received, there's a whole new level of peace and freedom that comes from that, where you can just be you. And the crazy thing is that it adds fuel to the fire for passion and intimacy in a relationship.
You will not expect the answer. It will be 180 degrees the opposite of what you're expecting will happen when you share these crucial, gut-wrenching, guttural truths that you think no one could love you, knowing all of your deepest, darkest things. And you'll find out that they can, probably. Or you'll find out that they're not the right person.
Hey, baby, after this video, I have some things to share with you.
I'm sure you do.
Well, hey, guys, we're about out of time, but we want to invite you to do these things. Step out, ask us, share those things, and we want to hear from you. So instant message us, put us on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube. We'll put our email addresses. You can contact us that way, but let us know. We want to hear from you. And then the other thing is we have an intimacy retreat coming up in November.
So text in November, we've slated November 7th, text Start the Journey to 22828 and you'll get on our mailing list so you get all of the details.
So join us next time and have those questions. Keep those coming to us. And we appreciate you. Courage, our friends. There's
Remember, you've
great
got to
things
go
ahead.
share something the next 3 days.
That's your homework. See you next time.
See you next time.